Hello again. Well, this is another of my reviews of Tai Lopez's 67 steps. Today we're on step number 8, and this one is about the integrated good life, and he talks about eudaimonia later on, but we'll get to that in a minute. So this step is talking about this issue of compartmentalization and how we've been sold this lie, as Tai says, of compartmentalization, that we can, this linear reductionist idea that we can break our lives down into separate parts and together they will be as a whole, which is not necessarily true. And you work these days, you have holidays these days, you go to church if that's your thing these days, you see your friends these days, and you really can't reduce a life like that. I mean, you can reduce your life but not over reduce it. You can break it down but not over break it down. And really, well, actually, so you can break it down but you can't detach it. I think that's the issue. And that's this compartmentalization lie that we've been told. A lot of people in the world don't do that. You have people who live in religious communities. Tai famously talks about his time with the Amish, when Sunday's a special day, but they integrate their days. And so we end up with this. In a normal Western world, we end up with, this TGI Fridays thing, or I hate Mondays thing. And really, you should be able to forget about what day it is. You shouldn't be dreading your job so much that you're looking forward to these few days and these, holidays and things like this. Why are you separating your life so much? Tai quotes somebody whose name I didn't quite get and didn't write down, this idea about a 2-mile rule. What that is in kilometers, not quite sure. But, everything for your life should be within those 2 miles. So, you should live close to your work. You should be able to shop where you live, go out where you live, live your life in the immediate area. And, we don't tend to do that. There's people who have a horrible commute, and a commute, one of the best ways to improve your life is to get rid of your commute. That's proven. So we have great separation. Everything about our lives now, we seem to be having more separation between generations. Parents don't, and children are separate on what they like and what they don't like. We have a very fragmented market. In America, North America, you have radio stations that play a very specific kind of music. You have television stations that play a very specific kind of show. Kids are broken up into classes, and things within classes are broken down. Everything is broken down and separated. And then we wonder why we feel disconnected. And, and that's a social thing. And then the work thing, of course, is even more crazy, that you do this job. Picasso talks about the dichotomy. You shouldn't work at what you hate so that you can later do what you love. Why wouldn't you just do what you love? But, of course, it's not that easy, but you get the idea. And, you have this 4-hour work week, which is wrong on both sides. This concept of the 4-hour work week, which is wrong on both sides of the equation. First of all, why would you want to work at something that you only want to do 4 hours? I love what I do, and I work 10 hours a day. And second, nobody ever does it anyway. It's a bunch of crap. I've never met anybody who's really actually pulls off a business that they do this 4-hour work week. And then you have the opposite of that, which is this vacation mentality, where you do whatever you do and you hate it, so you can get these 2 or 4 weeks of vacation, and there's nothing more depressing than the plane back from Vegas. You go on the plane to Vegas, it's full of these people who've invested huge mental capital into this idea that their weekend or week in Vegas is going to rid them of their problems, and then on the plane on the way back, of course, the time in Vegas probably created problems anyway. And that's where we get to this idea of eudaimonia, which is a Greek term, ancient Greek term for human flourishing, you know. So you don't compartmentalize. If you don't do that, what do? So, you know, you look at integrating. You bring together your health and your work, people who have standing desks, people who, you know, do exercise even during their office work. You know, you've got these 4 pillars, Tai's 4 pillars of health, wealth, love, and happiness. Bring them together. Don't go to the gym. Have a gym at home. Exercise while you're working. If you know, because even if you sit all day, an hour or 2 at the gym doesn't cure that. That's, again, another thing that's been shown. So, shit, this is getting a bit long. So, you know, be around people who stimulate you, and change your job and your environment. Tweak these things so you can bring things more together, not set them apart. And a Martin Seligman quote here, which is, the more components of your life bump into each other, the happier you will be. So there you go. Tai's 2 questions were, how can you integrate work and health? Work and health is a bit more of an easy one. Standing desks, weights at the desk, this kind of thing. And how can you integrate 2 other pillars, you know, religion and work, health and social is a good one, you know, meet people to go out and exercise, these kind of things. So anyway, that's step number 8, and we'll see you soon for step number 9.